Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the shooting channel. We do have a special guest today with us, Jamie Horner. I'll be talking to him a bit later about game conservation and all that sort of thing. But first up, we've got part 3 of the gun draw drama. So what happened was, we decided, in order to celebrate such a fantastic year at the shooting channel, to give away a free gun. This was YouTube first, and a way to say thank you to all our viewers. In order to find a winner, we said you had to like, share, comment and subscribe. That way it'd be free to enter and we could get the names randomly selected. Anyway, we let the draw run until January and thousands of people entered. I announced a winner who didn't come forward. I left it 3 weeks. I announced another. Still haven't come forward. So now what I've done, in order to make this fair, I've added everyone from my special Christmas list and anybody who has commented in the past 21 days. That way it can go to one of our regular viewers and I can be pretty sure that you're going to claim this gun. I've been here at the shooting channel for a year now, so happy anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than to give away a free gun. I've used a randomised selector and I've come back with a name for you. The winner of the free gun is Michael J. Goodman. Please do contact the Oxford Gun Company and you can come and collect that gun. Mr. Michael J. Goodman. Well done, Michael, and I hope all the rest of you have enjoyed the gun draw drama. Right, it's also been a year since lead shot has been voluntarily phased out by the shooting community. Let's have a look at what some of the leading names have to say. I know many of you may ask, why are we doing this? But this self-regulation is designed to stop harder legislation against us in the future, and this approach has clearly worked because a bill went through Parliament last year in an attempt to force us over in just 2 years, but DEFRA spoke in our favour, saying organisations are calling for an end to lead and plastic, confirming we are talking about it seriously. The story goes back a long way with lead, as far back as the Roman Empire in fact, but if we just look at this table, we can mostly remember the lead paint situation, and if we compare how quickly that moved, they diagnosed lead poisoning in 1887 and it took them 90 years to ban it. We're moving fairly fast. Anyway, back to the matter in hand. The BGA have said that they can expect retailers to start insisting on lead-free shot, and maybe if we can achieve that, we can get game right out there into the mainstream. Let's hope so. And it's nice to hear a bit about the BGA. So some positive news there. And there's also some more positive news. A curlew recovery partnership featuring the British Trust for Ornithology, Duchy of Cornwall, Prince of Wales, Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust, Natural England, the RSPB and Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust, amongst others. I'll be keeping a close eye on this and I'll put a link in the description for you so that you can have a look at their website if you'd like to. Now, for the sceptics amongst us, who might not be quite sure that the Game Fair's going ahead, I can confirm that the Game Fair has been green-lighted by government and is definitely going ahead. I'm really looking forward to this, and meeting many of you face to face is going to be great. And remember, the 29th of March, your local shooting grounds can reopen and outdoor sports can resume. I know many of you are going to need little to no encouragement to get out and about shooting. And just a quick bit of advice for those of you that are applying for a shotgun licence this year. If you do have any medical issues on your doctor's form, please do also mention these in the application as well. Just something that's cropped up. And finally, before we move on to our guest this evening, there is a DEFRA consultation. I'll put a link in the description for you, but this is what it's about. As a result of the wild justice interference, it relates to legislative arrangements around the release of common pheasant and red-legged partridge on and around European size and within 500 metres of. do take a look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jamie Horner, who was highly commended in the Purdy Game and Conservation Awards for his work on Iford Downs. Jamie, what's the secret?
From my point of view, people that grow good cover crops, and when I mean good cover crops, I don't mean maize or just single crops, so I mean mixes, something with triticale, linseed, millet, a bit of sorghum, sunflowers, whatever works on your land. If you can, so if Iford Downs shoot, which I used to look after with Craig Dennis of Thorny Moss, down on the south coast there, I mean, that's got 47 hectares of mixes. We took all the maize out. It reduced Craig Dennis's feed bill for his partridge, and then the byproduct of that was just an absolute eruption in so many different species. It's like a migratory oasis. It's this little point at the end of the country, and the species that we get there is just unbelievable. And it went from being like the Sahara Desert for wildlife to being just an oasis of migratory birds, along with your buntings, your yellow hammers. It's one of the largest density breeding areas for comb bunting. We've got Schedule 1 species that I can't tell you that nest there. 3 successful nests last year. We get all the overwintering raptors from the moors. So all the meadowpipits move down from the northern England in winter, and following them you get merlin, you get hen harrier, you get bog owls or short-eared owls. I've got good footage of Montague's harrier. We've had pallid harrier. We've even had the sea eagles over from the Isle of Wight. We've had one of those mooching about. So it's when it's done right. I mean, it's fantastic.
I have heard that only 10% of people are looking at booking less days than last year, which is good news. Are there any other positives to have come out of all this behind the scenes that you know of?
The positives out of Corona, can you? There just isn't. Not for shooting. I mean, it's disastrous. I can't think. I try and put a positive spin on everything, and I'm quite good at that. But I just can't think of anything that's good that's come out of Corona.
What do you think would be helpful for shooting, would you say?
What would be helpful? Oh. Well, we need to promote. We're always defending. From any of the organisations, we're always defending ourselves, whether we're Moorland Association or BASC. We need to be better at promoting. We need to be better with social media. And we are better than we used to be 2-3 years ago. But we need to be much better. We need to shout about our successes. We need to, we really need to sing when we find what I'm trying to do, and it's something I'm pushing. I want to bring out an app for gamekeepers, and it wants to be a wildlife app. So when a keeper, it could be a grouse keeper, could be a pheasant keeper, he's walking across a moor and he bumps into a merlin nest, I want him to be able to, monitor. There's a merlin nest here, and it gives you an approximate area because a merlin's a Schedule 1. So it gives you an approximate area, and then I want him to monitor it. So when he's working up there and he sees that it fledges 5 chicks from that nest, and then I want him to make a note of that, and that all gets stored in a central place, and then we can, as an organisation, we can release that.
What do you think about this move away from lead shot, Jamie?
A lot of people don't want to go away from lead, but we're going to have to do. The world's changing, people's opinion are changing, and if we want to keep on shooting like we're shooting, and all this surplus game, we've got to find a home for it. It's going to have to be shot with a non-toxic shot.
Have you had a lot to do with the BGA? What's been your experience with them?
I don't know. I mean, I know they are trying and they are doing things, and it's difficult without getting. They need more help and more support and more money. I don't know. I can't see. I don't want to come across as negative on this one because we do need them. I've just got no evidence of what they've done yet. I've got to say that they've actually not been that high profile lately. I mean, I've not had that much on Facebook or Instagram or, and they are a great organisation and we do need them. But how many more organisations does shooting need? We've got BASC, NGO, Countryside Alliance, BGA, SGA. Why don't we just have one big organisation that that we need to be like the National Rifle Association in North America, where nobody dare touch us. You know, it's a political hot potato, isn't it?
This one organisation thing is something that a lot of people are talking about at the minute. Do you think it's possible to combine clay and game shooting? I'd be interested.
I think you could have a clay department of your one organisation, yes. I really do. And, you know, and I think we need to entice more fishermen into it. You know,
Yeah.
Only this week, a wildlife trust down south have stopped fishermen fishing somewhere they've been fishing. And I think fishermen are just going to start waking up now that they're under attack. So you'd have this one organisation, but you would have all your separate bits. You know, it doesn't mean you just have this one organisation, they run with it. You know, you'd have the fishing side, the wildfowling side, you know, a driven side, rough shooting side, pigeon shooting side. And that's what we need. And until we get something like that, it's just constantly bickering and falling. You only have to go on Facebook and read somebody puts a comment about lead shot, and you get so many, you know, horrible comments, and it's just playing into the anti's hands. You know, we need to all be singing from the same hymn sheet. The world is changing. We do need to be more sustainable. We do need to use, you know, non-toxic shot in the future. And that's the only way that we'll probably be able to keep going as we are. If not, we'll disappear.
I always ask people this, but what do you shoot with, Jamie?
I'm a Browning man. I've got Brownings from. What have I got now? I haven't got a 410 because they're about 30 grand, but I've got 28 bore, 20 bore, 12 bore, 16 bore, and 10 bore. Got a 725 and a 525. I've got two 725s. Yeah. Well, a friend of mine has got a pair of B25s.
Has he?
But he's having the barrels cut off, making one into a 24 bore and the other one into a 32 bore.
Why would you do that?
It's exactly what I do. And then he's got a 24 bore and a 32. It's one gun with 24 and 32 barrels, and he's selling me that. I love different things.
We've got a Sunday night series coming out soon on this channel, and there's going to be some B25s on there, so keep a lookout for that one. Thanks for joining me today, Jamie. I'm afraid that is all we've got time for. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. Don't forget the DEFRA consultation. I'll put a link in the description. That's all from me. I'll see you next news day.
Please share to your friends and have a look at what other films we've done. And it's all there to try and encourage you to get into shooting this great sport.